Excuse me, did something happen?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down ambitious TV shows that failed back in the 2000s, but were good enough to keep on your watch list.
What's your major? Oh, I'm like undeclared for the time being, you know, it's just checking stuff out, kinda.
Number 10, Invasion. A South Florida town must rebuild after a catastrophic hurricane, and amid odd occurrences.
Are there monsters?
No.
The title of Invasion effectively gives away the extraterrestrials are covertly taking over the community through cloning. There were still 5 seasons of twists planned for this lofty mix of Lost and the Body Snatchers. Alas, less than a month before its premiere, Hurricane Katrina devastated the southern US and the nation's psyche.
Team doctor. Doctor?
You know this, Doctor? Speak to the commander over by the...
I was the one who originally suggested it.
ABC's marketing for the disaster drama was thus reduced and reframed around the carefully plotted sci-fi twists. Though Invasion ended in controversy with one season, captivated a limited audience with smart writing and elaborate drama. The many unresolved cliffhangers shouldn't discourage audiences from seeing a character-driven mystery done right. That is, when its timing is appropriate.
More different than since the hurricane.
Why do you think she's different now, Rose?
I don't know. She just doesn't look the same.
Number 9, Tell Me You Love Me. This boldly naturalistic HBO drama follows the messy lives of 3 couples in therapy, as well as Dr. Mae Foster herself.
I've got to get to work.
Don't go. Stay.
This is why I didn't want you to retire.
This is why I didn't want to retire.
It wasn't afraid to get intimate with the struggles of everyday people. With that though, public discussion about the show was dominated by its shockingly realistic discussions and depictions of sex. Despite this scandal and weak ratings, HBO was willing to give the refreshingly mature slice of life a second chance.
But every couple I know that stops having sex ends up hating each other. I don't hate Dave. Good.
Showrunner Cynthia Mort nevertheless decided to leave it at 1 season because she didn't know how to progress the narrative. Tell Me You Love Me may never have attracted passionate viewership, but it still gets people talking as a rare gem of adult drama in every sense of the term.
That's not the issue. That's never been the issue.
Number 8, Kings. The story of King David is modernized with a soldier who enters the court of an all-powerful king, navigating political and personal crises.
You handle the hounds well, Private. They have 6 older brothers. Have fun.
Kings was a lofty undertaking for NBC, which combined epic world-building with operatic writing. Critics were hooked by its daring originality, especially with the always commanding Ian McShane at the helm. It proved to be a much tougher sell to audiences.
How about I just say yes and we get straight to it, okay?
NBC already had trouble promoting the show due to its touchy biblical themes. After 3 weeks of ratings underperformance, it began airing inconsistently on Saturdays. King's graceless downfall after 1 season even prompted the network to walk back projects that costly. Still, if you like your political thrillers hallowed, Kings is a regal experience.
We give up what we want when we want power. Believe me.
Number 7, The Tick. 5 years after an animated adaptation of Ben Udlin's superhero satire, The Tick returned to Fox in live action.
Stand back, citizen. So, vending menace, we meet again.
This stylish sitcom follows the misadventures of the eponymous Ernest Crusader and his meager ward. It was the perfect vehicle for the burly, yet lovable Patrick Warburton. It was also maybe too quirky and pricey for its competitive time slot. Warburton himself claimed that Fox never had much investment when the project was produced by a third party.
Sorry there, Mothman. Didn't mean to interrupt, although I sure would like a slice of your righteous combat pie. What do you say? Help. Oh, hey, great. Thanks.
The rave reviews couldn't prevent the show's cancellation, but they did give it a legacy. Amazon's take on The Tick years later further empowered interest in the Fox version. The Invincible cult following would say that it's a blast regardless of the state of the superhero market.
Well, it's been a shattering disillusionment. Good night.
Number 6, Flash Forward. The world is bewildered after nearly everyone in it simultaneously loses consciousness for 137 seconds.
Nicole?
What happened?
I blacked out.
Disturbing visions suggest that the root of this phenomenon lies in the future. Flash Forward was obviously ABC capitalizing on the ensemble and supernatural mystery-driven format of Lost. It initially seemed to be more successful than Invasion. The show was an instant hit with critics and audiences, but ratings dramatically declined as the narrative grew too convoluted for peak primetime.
What we heard from Washington was the same. Everyone's just gathering intel. CIA, Homeland Security, our various league ads offices overseas. In other words, nobody knows anything.
ABC ultimately decided that it wasn't worth a long-term financial investment. Flash Forward's cancellation was so controversial that fans organized protest campaigns worldwide. One season remains rewarding even for future fans, who can only guess at what the story's own future might have held.
So you're saying what? Everyone's consciousness just jumped forward 6 months to April 29th?
Crazy as that sounds, yeah.
Number 5. Wonderfalls. Brian Fuller had never had much luck as a showrunner. Before pushing Daisies and Hannibal, he and Todd Holland created Fox's wonderful Wonderfalls.
Hot, you gonna buy the tape?
No.
Then get out, we're loitering.
The quirky dramedy follows an Ivy League-educated philosopher who works in a Niagara Falls souvenir shop where figurines come to life with cryptic instructions. Such imaginative storytelling and lovable characters quickly won a loyal audience, however limited.
We're not talking about your mother.
Not yet.
Do you feel pressure to live up to your mother's expectations?
I thought we weren't talking about my mother.
We're not. We're talking about you.
The show had inconsistent ratings with just 4 episodes before a 4-month hiatus and underpromoted time slot change. The already niche fable didn't really stand a chance. Like all of Fuller's ill-fated masterpieces, it maintains a strong cult following that never fully got over its cancellation. Despite falling into obscurity through the years, Wonderfalls is still worth the trip.
Oh yeah.
Number 4. The Black Donnellys. Paul Haggis and Robert Moresco followed the Oscar-winning Crash by joining the syndicate of prestige gangster TV.
How's Jimmy? Jimmy's great.
Yeah?
Why? What's up?
Well, somebody stole a truck this morning in the garment district. Detective who caught the case, he asked me about Jimmy.
Inspired by the Irish-Canadian clan of the same name, the Black Donnellys was an elaborate saga of immigrant culture and organized crime in Hell's Kitchen, New York. It was a tricky drama to pull off outside of cable, with more narrative ambition than a network audience could get behind.
Me and Jimmy went downtown with goodness in our hearts to work out a deal. But Louis starts threatening me. I mean, what was I supposed to do?
Kevin, everybody knows who did this. You kidnapped somebody, and I'm supposed to know who you are.
Tell me you think we're stupid? We wore masks.
Plummeting ratings led to NBC canceling and pulling the star-studded series halfway through its first season. The remaining episodes could only be watched online and on DVD. The Black Donnellys also polarized critics, but those who appreciate its unique culture and tension loved it. Many agree that it's a worthy deep cut for any crime TV enthusiast.
It's gonna be painful, but it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Number 3. Undeclared. The 2000s began bitterly for fans of NBC's coming-of-age dramedy Freaks and Geeks. But Judd Apatow delivered a worthy spiritual successor in Fox's Undeclared.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, you live here?
Yep. I think so.
I told you.
I know, okay.
I told you.
Okay.
I told you.
No. I'm Steven.
The naturalistically raunchy humor and heart in the lives of aimless college students won critical acclaim. It even seemed to do well in the ratings. Behind the scenes, though, it was a mess of production network conflict and disorganized broadcast scheduling.
We're like having a party tonight. Do you want to come?
Oh, I'm a senior.
Oh, that's cool.
No, sweetie, that means I'm not coming to your party.
9/11 also had a sullen impact on America's pop culture climate. Still, Fox's own mismanagement was mostly responsible for Undeclared's expulsion after one term. It's nonetheless considered an essential stepping stone for a now esteemed cast and the single-can sitcom genre in general. The show's quality alone makes it a staple of must-see cult TV.
It's working, and it's a little bit better. And I'm really glad that you're able to laugh about this.
Number 2. Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. NBC was fully invested in Aaron Sorkin's follow-up to the long-running masterpiece The West Wing. Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip moved the snappy workplace drama from the White House to an SNL-style sketch comedy show.
This sketch is funny. It killed a dress. And funny is in very short supply around here, Lacey.
I'm in charge of broadcast standards and practices. I'm not in charge of funny.
It was a promising debut, praised for its colorful ensemble and satire of politics within and beyond a television network. The thing is, 30 Rock debuted to that same praise in the same season.
I'm Jack Donaghy, new VP of Development for NBC GE Universal Kmart.
We own Kmart now.
No. So why are you dressed like we do?
Both comedies shared a market for NBC and made up for declining ratings with critical acclaim. With lower viewership and higher production costs, Studio 60 fell victim to the business it deconstructed. It was a costly folly for both the network and Sorkin, but the latter's fans can rely on the material itself.
Is there something funny about this, Jordan?
God, Jack, there's like 7 things funny about this.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. 10 Things I Hate About You. The lovable movie-to-TV teen comedy didn't quite graduate into the 2010s.
High school is how you spin it. Even the biggest orcs can be cool, as long as they play their cards right. Look at Shia LaBeouf.
I don't care about cool. I just want a girlfriend.
The Dresden Files. This cult adaptation of a hit book series had stronger entertainment than viewership.
Hey, morning, Murphy. How's things?
Gruesome. What's your problem?
Hey, why does it have to be a problem? You know, can I just call you to say, hey?
Gideon's Crossing. The underrated medical drama couldn't be saved for a second season.
How did I know you were going to ask that question?
We can keep this cancer at bay. Good chemotherapy that will...
Chemotherapy? Is that like benign neglect, love handle?
Radiation would shrink the tumors in your hips in a matter of days. And I just lie there like Sleeping
Beauty waiting for the prince to come and make it all go away. Doc. That's your fantasy. I already made that mistake once.
The Unusuals. Noah Hawley's uniquely eccentric police dramedy didn't go far on ABC.
It's the NYPD, detective. If you're not a little confused, you're not paying attention. Now go after him.
Journeyman. A time-traveling reporter's undersea adventures are worth jumping back for.
What's today's date?
October 6th.
What year?
1987.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Jericho. After a nuclear attack on 23 American cities, a small Kansas town becomes the shaky foundation for a new civilization.
What you looking at?
CBC's Jericho came long before the boom of post-apocalyptic TV. On top of the blockbuster dramedy's niche market, especially during the War on Terror, a writer's strike and video piracy scandal effectively blew the ambitious investment.
Baby, what are you staring out the window?
Get over here and look at this.
What is that? Oh my God! Oh.
Critical praise and fan backlash against the show's cancellation were still so substantial that CBS commissioned a 7-episode second season. It wasn't much, but it set up a multimedia franchise to continue the story for loyal followers. Jericho may be more of a commitment than latecomers realize. Still, it's worth checking out this evidence that there's some hope for even the biggest bombs on TV.
In the spirit of reconciliation,
Kidding me? Reconciliation?
it is in everyone's interest to extend a blanket of amnesty over a wide range of acts committed during the lawless period after the attacks.
What are your favorite shows of the past few decades that not many others watched? Spread the word in the comments.
You may have heard of me. I get a lot of press.
You were the one who saved that trolley full of supermodels.
Yes, in fact, I saved them 3 times in one night, if you get my meaning.
Nope.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.